So Insync was founded in 2009, and it was really on the back of 20 plus of experience I had in investment markets. I've been through a lot of cycles. I've seen what's worked and what hasn't worked, and I really wanted to build something that I thought and strongly believed was very relevant for investors today, particularly with the trends that are actually occurring, broadly speaking, which is the aging demographic. And so investors' needs had changing, and I felt that there was an opportunity here to actually create a service or a solution that more directly meets the genuine investor needs going forward. So really it was actually founded on three key pillars. The first is, I believe that if investors are going to go overseas, they should be investing in the best, so very high quality, highly profitable businesses. And really my experience and research shows that not only do they perform very well over the long term, over different economic cycles. It's a very consistent way of delivering returns, but actually it actually has very strong defensive properties in place. So when the markets actually go through their periods of high degrees of volatility on the downside, these types of businesses tend to fall less, and then they tend to recover a lot quicker. So that's the first key pillar. The second key pillar was that it was becoming very apparent that we're operating in a low growth environment. So really we were looking for businesses with much more assured growth, and that's where the global megatrends piece comes in. Megatrends tends to be long term in terms of its duration, sometimes many decades, tends to be irreversible. In terms of size, it's enormous, and it has a profound impact on businesses. And most importantly, it actually provides those highly profitable businesses that we're seeking to invest in a much more assured growth path. So that's great in terms of generating returns, but clearly as investors, and if you look at the demographic profile in Australia and around the world, they are getting a little bit older, and their tolerance for downside risk and the capacity to take big losses is diminishing as time goes on. So they want the returns, but they really can't take those big losses because it has a profound impact in terms of dislodging or disrupting the financial goals going forward. So we believe active downside risk management was the third key pillar that we needed to have as part of our investment process. And so really the idea there is that we try and pick up a lot of the market returns through investing in these highly quality businesses leveraged to those mega trends in a much more assured way. But when you get those periods of downside volatility, which actually is much more frequent than is generally assumed by most market participants. In fact, if you look at the last 50 years, on average, we've had a fall significantly greater than 20% once every 6 years, and the average size of that fall has been 35%. And we don't believe investors can tolerate those types of losses. It really is quite disruptive. So it's really about picking up those returns when the markets are going up, and then protecting those returns as best as we can through our downside risk management strategies to ensure that we generate really strong absolute returns and we help our investors meet their financial objectives over time.